What's up, Canes fans? Peter Ariz here with CanesInsight.com, bringing you today's edition of the Canes Insight Daily Podcast, brought to you by our sponsors at Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have a few topics to get to today. D-Money's vacation is almost over, so he'll be back here in a couple days. But of course, we've been dropping content daily here. We have not stopped Monday through Friday. The instant reactions. Obviously, Miami's been here on a nice recruiting run. Had a quarterback coach, Balin Trujillo, on yesterday, who is Darion Coleman's personal coach. So that was a great discussion if you have not had a chance to check that out. But I have a few things to get into today. First, of course, the news of the day, some uniform changes. And I know a lot of people have kind of been asking, what's the big deal? I don't see much of a difference, as Miami Today posted these changes online, and I had a chance to talk to someone close to the situation, tried to get as many details as I could about these changes, since people are asking what exactly has changed. So just going down the list here as I pull up the announcement again from Canes Football Today, and we see here on the hoof looks very similar, right? But I'm going to go through some of these details real quick here. So starting off with the helmet, the front and the back of the helmet have a new font. It's called the Amaro Sans font. So of course, San Amaro Drive right there on campus next to the facility and the baseball field and basically everything that goes on athletics wise. It's called the Amaro Sans font, right? So you're going to see here on the front of the helmet, as you guys see right here, the font there, different from what Miami's had in the past. And then also, this is a change right here that many people have already seen, but the back of the helmet also has this. So from what I've been told, again, from someone very close to the situation here at Miami, involved in this process, there's never been, something other than Riddell or whatever the helmet company is on the back of the helmet here. So you see now Miami here is shown, again, the new Amaro Sans font. So you have that on the front of the helmet and the back of the helmet. Now, this font is something that they've been using in graphics for about 6 months. They launched it, like I said, earlier this year, late last year. It's been on social stuff, digital stuff, and throughout the facilities. They wanted, from what I was told, a cleaner look overall. They had kind of been using the Nike font throughout the facility and all that, which is, again, it's hard to really see too many differences. But from what I've been told, you see the differences mainly in A, B, and E. And then the block numbers on the jersey. So let me pull that up real quick here. Let me pull up these pictures again, as we have Cam Ward, we have Kiko Mauanoa, Jalen Rivers here, but the block numbers are slightly larger as well. I think you can see the difference. I noticed a difference more on the uniforms that have the two numbers on the uniform. So you see it here with Jalen Rivers. Again, block numbers are slightly different as well. So minor changes there and larger. Something else that has been brought to my attention here is the area around the torso here, as I'm highlighting, or I'm moving here with the cursor, if you guys can see. It is a new woven material, more breathable and tech-like. It's, again, the stomach, hips, torso, the inner thigh area, as well, as you can see. Let me pull it up here. As you can see, kind of in this area here, again, different material than what has been previously used. These are minor changes, guys. I get it, but I'm trying to bring you the details here of what exactly has changed. And look, I think it looks good. I think it looks sleek. I think the numbers do really look bigger. I have to get a side-by-side comparison for you guys, but just by the eye there, to me, looks very, very nice. And then I was able to confirm that these changes, for those of you who are interested, and I know a lot of you are going to be in the new EA college football game. it's funny because from what I was told, this stuff was sent over to EA months ago in their process, getting everything into the game in terms of the stadiums and the uniforms and all the fun stuff that has gone on behind the scenes to get this game going. And so they've had this, EA has had this for a while. And the changes, if you look closely in the trailer and everything that's come out that has been regarding Miami, you can actually see some of these changes already in the game, and they will be there when the game releases here in a few days. So again, I know some of these are slight changes, but people are wondering because Miami did roll it out and say, look, we have, some changes to the uniform. So there you have it. That I got this, got some good information on this. So hope you guys enjoyed that update there. Moving things along here, recruiting wise, we have a couple updates here. And again, D-Money will be back in town here in a couple days, but had a chance to talk to him and he gave me a couple updates here. We are starting with DJ Pickett, who, of course, is going to be announcing his commitment here on July 17th, about a week from now. And the finalists, Miami, Oregon, LSU. This is coming from D-Money. So I'm going to read to you guys what he told me. He said, Miami is still in strong position with DJ Pickett. It is a battle with Oregon, but he thinks, D-Money, Miami will get him one way or another when it's all said and done, with a good chance it happens here in July. So obviously DJ Pickett, number one corner in the country. Miami has been trying to get this defensive back room up to elite level, which they've done 2 years ago with the offensive line class. That was the goal. Last year with the defensive line class, and now with the defensive back room. So DJ Pickett, of course, it's July 9th, so we're 8 days away from his commitment announcement. And whether he commits to Miami now or not, D-Money believes Miami is in a good position to land his signature, which we all know is the important part of the process here, but still thinks there's a good chance it happens here on July 17th for Miami. Now, next up, Jabari Antoine. I think it's Jabari Antoine. We always, with the name pronunciation, we got to talk to the kid himself to get the real exact pronunciation. But July 20th for him. And again, Miami, LSU, Florida State. He was formerly committed to LSU. And from D-Money here, not a major update, but Canes have a great shot here. As we've said for a few weeks here on the CanesInSight podcast, it is not likely he flips back to LSU, which is what these were D-Money's words. And FSU's made a late push here, but Miami has a very, very good shot to land him. Listen, you land Pickett and then you land Antoine in a 3-day span, potentially. Now you're talking about the class being in the defensive back spot in the position you really, really would like it to be in as you head into the season here. And Miami, of course, continues, if this happens, to be on probably the hottest recruiting run in the country. Now, I have one more thing here that I just wanted to bring up, a little bit of tidbit of information. You guys know from my days doing the work, the bank is king, but the work, I still get some tidbits of information here and there from the inside, I guess you could call it. But this is an interesting one, right? So I'm actually going to be working on another podcast outside of the Canes world. It's going to be called the Agency Podcast with, First Round Management, where I'm an agent and where I've worked as well as doing my stuff here at CanesInSight, and had a chance to sit down with Jonathan Taylor, of course, running back for the Colts, one of the top running backs in the league, one of the highest paid running backs in the league, and he's one of our clients over there at First Round Management. Now, why do I bring this up? Jonathan Taylor has had a chance for the past month and a half or so to train up until a few weeks ago when Damien Martinez officially enrolled in Miami. He was training with Damien Martinez, right? So Damien Martinez, we had him on the podcast, I want to say about a month ago. You guys can go check that interview out if you have not checked it out already. And in that interview with Damien Martinez, he mentioned that he had been training with Frank Gore Sr., Frank Gore Jr., and Jonathan Taylor. When I sat down with Jonathan Taylor the other day, of course, I wanted to ask him about his impression of Damien Martinez and training with him. And that clip, I'm going to have that podcast out in the next week or so, I would say. And you guys are going to want to check out that part of the interview for sure. And I'll post the clip on CanesInSight stuff. But essentially, what Jonathan Taylor told me was when he first saw him, he was like, man, it's a big dude, right? So he came into the facility weighing around 235 pounds. After their month plus of working out, finished up in the 225 range. And he said his initial impression of him when they started going through agility and footwork drills was he took a look at him and he said, man, I don't know how this guy's going to move. That's a big back. But he said and his eyes were wide open when he said it. He said, that guy can move. He is a load and he's moving. So he was really impressed with his quickness at that size. Says he's an extremely hard worker, does not think the ACC is ready for him this year, and says he has a chance to be one of the top running backs picked in this year's draft. So again, lost about 10 pounds, really leaned up, and still, if you see him, rocked up 225, solid. Again, Jonathan Taylor, one of the top running backs in the NFL, says that he thinks that this guy has a chance to be one of the top backs picked in next year's draft. But he was really, really wowed with his ability at that size and his movement skills at that size. So listen, we're very excited about this Canes team. We're very excited about some of the new pieces added here. But to hear that about Martinez, who, again, has been training with Frank Gore Jr., Jonathan Taylor, has gotten used to the humidity down here in Miami through these training sessions. It's just nice to hear that those words of affirmation, verification, whatever you want to call it, that one of the top backs in the league sees a ton of potential in Damien Martinez. So excited about Damien Martinez this upcoming season, and we're excited about this team as a whole, obviously. So big things happening for Miami in the recruiting trail, uniform changes. Of course, you can get uniforms for this upcoming season at Caneswear in Davie, and then, of course, caneswear.com. So check them out for that. And stay tuned because tomorrow, I'm excited about this. I'm going to be doing a lot of EA college football game content because I know there's a lot of people who are going to be playing the game, going to be interested in it. I don't know how half of us are going to find the time to play it because, we're not in high school, college anymore, but we're going to try to make it happen. But the full roster reveal is tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a ratings breakdown for the Hurricanes roster. We're going to see who's officially in the game, right? Because that's the other thing. These guys have to opt in by a certain date. We'll see who's officially in there. We'll see who we're going to have to add in there as well. But the ratings are always a very interesting part of this process. The top 100 players in college football have been handed player traits by EA. So we've already seen Damien Martinez has some like road dog, right? Which he performs to a higher level in those road situations. I think physical presence was another one that he had as well. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. I'm excited to give you guys a full breakdown on that. And we'll be back as we are every day, Monday through Friday here on CanesInsight Daily. Remember to like this video and subscribe to the show if you have not already. And remember, D-Money's back soon. So you guys, I know you're probably getting tired of just hearing from me, but thank you all for listening today. Go Canes.
This an insight to the Canes, and we ain't playing no games. Joaquin said dominate, so that's what we do. Home of the legends and 7th floor crew. Down in Miami where hurricanes brew. You here for the rumors, we bring you the news. Cause it's all about the you. And nobody do it like CanesInsight. 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 It's Canes Insight.